Today we're going to introduce to you the poster activity you're going to be working on. It's for big arrays and small arrays, and you're going to need a set of supplies. You're going to start with construction paper, just like the one Mr. Lashman just showed you, a ruler, your pencil, and 2 different color crayons that will show up on the paper you selected. You'll also need a stack of array cards. These will be supplied for you. The first thing you're going to need to do is fold your construction paper into thirds. Look as Mr. Lashman does it. It's going to have to be as neat as possible. Notice that she's marking the creases so that you can visibly see your thirds once it's unfolded. Once she's unfolded that, you're going to choose your big array card, and that's going to be the first box that you're going to fill out. For our example, we're going to use the one from the first video, which is 7 by 7. Mr. Lashman went ahead and placed it in her first box, and she's going to go ahead and trace the outside of that array. Eventually, you're going to go ahead and draw the rows and columns as neatly as possible, and that's the reason that you have the ruler. Remember, the dimensions of this particular big array is 7 by 7. However, your large or your big array will have different dimensions that you'll be working on. I love what Mr. Lashman's doing. She is labeling her work. She's making the marks on there so that she can go ahead and create the same distance between her rows and her columns. This is part of taking pride in your work. The neater it is, the clearer it is. And this is part of your learning goal expectations, making sure your work is legible. Just like we did in the first video, we're going to go ahead and do a 5 by 7 array and a 2 by 7 array. So Mr. Lashman already has those array cards. She's again going to cover the original 7 by 7 array to make sure that it's a good fit. And from what we can see from what was traced, it actually was a perfect fit.
Looks good.
So now she's going to go ahead and get her colored pencils, and she's going to go ahead and mark them out. She wants to make sure she has 5 rows of 7 for one of them, and then 2 rows of 7 with the other color. Notice what she did. She went ahead and counted them again. She didn't want to assume that she was correct. So make sure that when you're doing this, you are also taking your time. We want you to use crayons, not markers or colored pencils, because this will be the quickest way to shade your area. Notice she's still doing it neatly, even though she's doing it quickly. So she just shaded in green her 5 by 7, and she took her other crayon, the purple. She again counted 2 rows, double checking there's 7 in each row, and she's going to go ahead and shade those 2 by 7. Again, neatly and quickly, so that we can see that these 2 smaller arrays make our original big array of 7 by 7. The one thing we're going to do now is go ahead and label it. So she's going to take a marker, and she's going to go over her original array of 7 by 7. She's going to put equals because we know it has the same value, but now she's going to write 5 by 7 inside of parentheses. So again, that is her first step or her first array. And or plus the second array of 2 by 7. So now we know that 7 by 7 is also equal to 5 by 7 and an additional 2 by 7. We still have a third box. If you're wondering what that's for, you're going to go through your stack of arrays, and we're going to look for another combination of ways to make 7 by 7. We know we have to have a factor in common, so we're going to look for a 7. Okay, if we have 3 by 7, that's not going to be enough, so we're going to have to find another array. Let's see, 7 minus 3. How many rows are left, Mr. Lashman?
1, 2, 3, 4 rows.
4 rows, and how many are in each row?
7 in each row.
So we're looking for a 4 by 7 array. How convenient, she already has it.
Looky there.
Again, she's placing the smaller arrays on top of the bigger array to make sure that they're a good fit, and
fits.
sure enough they are. She's going to repeat the same process. She's going to go ahead and take her different color crayons, and she went ahead and marked her 3 rows of 7 squares, and she's going to go ahead and shade that in, and that is the first of her 2 smaller arrays. Again, using a crayon, which allows you to shade it in quickly and neatly. And then we're going to switch crowns so that we can go ahead and mark in the other one. And again, we said it was a 4 by 7. She's going to count her rows to 4, 7 in each. Once she confirmed that, she's going to go ahead and shade that in. So now what we have are two perfect examples of two small arrays that make our larger array. Again, our larger array here was 7 by 7. We're going to put another equal sign because it's still balanced, and we're going to put a 3 by 7, again parentheses 3 times 7, and or plus sign. The other array was 4 by 7, so 4 times 7. We now gave you one larger array of 7 by 7. The first one we had done in the original video was 5 by 7, an additional 2 by 7, and the one we found in our stack of arrays was 3 by 7 and 4 by 7. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and do these on your own with your assigned big array.